Hello everybody, welcome to another True Review. Today I'm bringing you Clockwork Tales of Glass and Ink on the Xbox One. It's the latest title by Artifacts Mundi. It's the second game they've released on the Xbox, and anybody who doesn't know who Artifacts Mundi is, they've been around for quite some time. They develop a lot of these graphic adventure puzzle games slash hidden object games. A lot of them come out on mobile and PC, but they're finally making transition over to consoles because this actual game was released, I believe, 3 years ago originally. There were a huge back catalogue of these games, and it's something I'd really like them to do, is bring an awful lot more of these games more frequently to us. Having said that though, they have turned around this game within 3 months of the last game coming out, which was Nightmares from the Deep. Now in this game you play as Evangeline Glass, hence the title, and she's a secret agent. She gets sent to the city of Hochwald, a small mountain town, and she has to meet up with her Dr. Ink, who's been investigating tremors and unexplained earthquakes that have been going around the area. You quickly get drawn into an adventure which is set in kind of like a steam-powered technology era, kind of fictional era. So it's quite an interesting setting. Now what you generally find with Artifacts Mundi games is the graphics are usually amazing. The game's depicted in a first person's perspective. You control mainly a cursor around the screen for the entirety of the game. You navigate through the locations by clicking on exits and moving through the game in that way. But the graphics are usually still hand-drawn graphics, but they're usually done to a very, very high standard. And you interact with objects and characters who are also well drawn and well voice acted. These kind of games for me remind me of the old Monkey Island style games. They kind of remind me of those where you have your objects and you've got to find out which objects work for which puzzles and then figure them out. Once you actually do discover a puzzle, they tend to come in 2 forms. You've got the traditional puzzles where it might be you have to make an arrangement of cogs or reassemble a torn bit of parchment, for example, or even move blocks around to free a path for a key to get through to the lock. Things such as that. Or there's hidden object games as well, which appear in a lot of Artifacts Mundi games. Anybody who doesn't know what one of those is, it's kind of like a bit of like a Where's Wally kind of thing. You get asked to find 15 objects, and on the screen there's a ton of objects, and you have to basically find the ones you've been asked to look for in order to progress and get a key quest item. For me, I could take or leave the hidden object games. For me, these games are the puzzle games. The actual genuine puzzles themselves are the key to what makes these games enjoyable for me. I have to say, on this game, the hidden object games have been spiced up a little bit because they do kind of like have a little bit of a puzzle element into them as well. Because there's ones where there's a set order you have to do things in to like unlock a box. You have to pick up X, Y, and Z to unlock a box, which reveals another item, which you combine with X, Y, and Z again to find another item. So they've kind of like spruced it up a little bit in this game, which I'm quite happy about really. Because like I say, the hidden object games, I don't mind them, but I'm not bothered if they wouldn't be in the game, to be honest with you. But yeah, the story, I can't really go into much detail because if you are going to play this game, it will spoil it for you. But the story is a cracking story split over a number of chapters, which takes you through a number of locations, going from a town to a castle to dungeons to an underground lair. It's just really, really interesting locations, and again, like I mentioned before, all beautifully hand-drawn. Sound-wise, again, you got a cracking soundtrack. It's kind of like orchestral and really sets the mood of the game really, really well. In terms of achievements, it's a pretty easy achievement list. Majority of them is for completing the game, and you also get ones for completing the game on hard mode. The only difference between hard mode and normal is on normal you get drawn to the objects by glowing patterns, just so you know you can interact with something. On hard, that's generally removed, and it's a little bit more harsh on the amount of times you can use hints on hard as well. If you are going for the full achievement points, you're looking at about 6 hours or so, depending on how quickly you can grasp the puzzles. You're not allowed to skip any puzzles on hard, but there is a skip feature if you're not playing for achievements, which if you get stuck on a puzzle you can just bypass it, which is good really, because it lets audiences of all skill levels still progress in the game, because you don't want to get stuck and have to abandon the game. So it's actually a good idea that they have actually put that in there. Comprehensive hint system as well. Thinking what the hell am I supposed to do and you don't know anymore, you can simply hit the Y button, I believe it was, and it will tell you what the next action is, and you can only use that a certain amount of times when you've got to wait for it to cool down and replenish again. So it can lead you through the entire game if you so wished it to do so. It would take you a hell of a long time to actually do that, but again it is good because it caters for all audiences of all skill levels and prevents people from actually getting completely stuck and hitting a brick wall and abandoning the game. So like I say, I've got a pretty soft spot for these types of games, and I really hope they bring more of their back catalogue and new titles as well, of course, to the consoles in future. So I'm looking forward to the next title, but for this one, for Clockwork Tales of Glass and Ink, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Really enjoyed it. Really good game. It's $7.99 for probably about 4, 5, 6 hours, depending on how fast you can get through the game. And for me, I think that represents decent value for money for these types of games. Obviously, value for money is a subjective thing, really. You have to make the right decision for yourself. 7 out of 10 for this game. Hope you enjoyed that review, guys. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe, and if you do want to follow me on my social media pages, it does help me build this channel for you and get these games to you as quickly as possible. The game is out now to buy, so please check it out on the Xbox Live Store. Thanks for watching.